The time has come. We're finally here. Raising Kanan Powerbook 3 has dropped. Let's talk about episode 1, y'all. You know I'm excited. Let's get into it. All right, we start the episode off in 1985 where young Kanan is getting his behind beat and his money took at the playground. And we get a voiceover from our present day or deceased Kanan, who is narrating this entire series, which I'm looking forward to. It adds another layer, I think, to the show and really helps move the story along. Immediately, we get introduced to Rock, introduced to the lifestyle, as well as young Kanan. We get to see an innocent young Kanan in his very first fight. His mother puts him up to going back, getting his money, getting what's due to him and his respect. Let's see them batteries in that sock where she puts him she puts him up to go back up to that park and go to work as he does. She literally says, you either gonna deal with them or you gonna deal with me, but there's nowhere to run when you dealing with me. And that lets us know off the bat what kind of mom she is. Rock loves her son down, would do anything for her son, and she is, I believe, solely responsible, or almost solely, maybe like 80-90% responsible for the Kanan that we see, that knows how to survive, that pretty much never dies. Like, yes, Kanan wound up dying in Power, but there were so many times where we was like, dang, like when he came back from that fire, that fight with Ghost, it was like, bruh, what are you, the Terminator? Like, what is actually going on? And this is where we see the seeds of that getting planted. Then we go into the other exclusive clip that they had already released. I talked about it in my What to Expect video, but Kanan gets selected to be able to go to a really nice, big, well-funded, super advanced school downtown. He has to take a placement test for it, and they're sitting in the office with the principal who put him up for it, and Rock's like, yes, this is what you're going to do. This is where it's at. We get a little bit more character development from Rock, letting us know that she's into astronomy and astrology. That's the only thing that she really liked in school, but she's really good at this drug thing. She's really good at this drug game. And then from there, we go and see Jukebox and choir practice, and sis can blow. But we also get the note from voiceover Kanan of like, don't let the sweet voice fool you. She's gully as anybody. She's as real as anybody. Like, Jukebox is the realest you know what you've ever met. Don't cross her. And I love how that transitioned right into teenage Kanan interacting with Davina, and you can see how smitten he is. You can see this is his first love. He really feeling her. It's so, got that little goofy look on his face. I love watching black men be goofy for women. It's the cutest thing ever. We love to see it. Honestly, in the first like 10 minutes of the episode, we get an introduction to everybody that we pretty much need to know. We see Davina. We get an introduction to Davina's boyfriend, Buck 20. We get introduction to Famous, and then start to get introductions to Kanan's crew. We get to meet Lulu as, you know, him and Rock are walking to the hospital. Something happened with somebody on the corner. Clearly Marvin messed up in some way when he come in late eating. So we really get an introduction. Lulu about his business. Lulu's going to handle it, which is crazy because he's the younger brother, and Marvin is going to mess things up. And that's crazy because he's the older brother. We also get to see, though, in this scene that at one point Marvin was leading the organization, but he could not handle it, which is why Rock is the one who's in charge right now. And I'm looking forward to them explaining that a bit more, because the change in power would explain the resentment that you see. We can see with Marvin, he got a little chip on his shoulder, and that would explain a lot. And then we go into a scene where we get to see the little Mortal Kombat being playing. Y'all, I'm feeling these 90s vibes. It's taking me back. Yo, the 90s was really an era. Like, for real, for real. The 90s was literally the bomb era. But we get to see that Buck 20 is actually in the life. He's underneath, who is unique, the other rival, you know, drug kingpin in the South Jamaica, Queens. The first 10-20 minutes of this episode is really doing a great job of telling us what we need to know, who we need to know, and why. Because we meet Symphony in the club that Rock goes to meet Hugo at. We meet the little random white girl publicist who wants to be all ridiculous, which is why they shish kebab that damn puppy. Let's be honest. Raquel had that dog put in the microwave, and y'all, I love me some dogs, but it sent the message. Let's just say that. It definitely sent the message. And then from there, once we actually get the introduction to all the characters, we get a grounding of what they feel about each other and where they are. They do Wednesday night family dinners together at this diner, Lamont's Diner, which tells us a lot about the status of the family, how close-knit they are, how important family is, how cool they are with one another. Like, there's really no tension or no beef. And then you can also see how the hierarchy works. Outside of the diner, we see Marvin talking with Rock about some business or something that's going on, a decision that he wants to be made. We see Lulu making his first love connections with Famous's sister, which we know that's going to be his love interest. I'm trying to figure out what's that age difference because it's feeling a little bit, I don't know. But Lulu is the younger brother. We just got to figure out how much younger, and maybe this isn't that bad because Famous's sister is, in college. She's up to work from Baltimore and go to college. So maybe she's, of a good age and this ain't about to be weird. But she pretty much gets smitten immediately as Unique's crew sends some warning shots up in the air, faking a drive-by, and Lulu jumps and pulls her, gets in front of her to protect her, make sure she doesn't get hurt, and she's pretty much smitten from that point on. The first meeting between Rock and Unique is like, this scene is so dope. The cinematography of it, the dialogue in it, the performances, Joey Badass and Fatima, y'all some bad mother, what? Like, you get the strength, yo. They're barely even moving in this scene. It's literally only them having a conversation, and you can understand and feel the strength coming off of each of them. Literally, you can see how strong Rock is, and she ain't buckling for nobody. As she says, she's not getting on her knees for no man. Point blank period. Notice. And I love it. I love seeing her take command. One of the things I feel like this episode set up is that she is in control, but she's also very feminine. She balances her masculine and feminine energies very, very well. And then the men that we have seen so far in her life treat her right. So I'm really glad that we are not seeing, she's hood, she's in the life, and she got a little gutter boyfriend who don't really love her or whatever. Like, everyone that we see presented with Rock as a love interest at the beginning of the male persuasion respects her, is loyal to her, loves her down. Like, the biggest issue that I'm seeing arise is potentially Marvin, and that's her brother. And instead of doing what he was supposed to do, Kanan's supposed to go, ace this test, get into the school, frolic, whoop-de-whoop, be great. He decides that he wants to throw the test or fail the test on purpose, leave early because he doesn't know what happened between Neek and his mom. He gets news that Buck 20 is on one of his mom's corners. He thinks that he took it. So now he's about to do some crazy stuff in his mom's name. He starts some mess while Jukebox is off making her love connection with old girl from the little preppy school, which I need more details in this. What do Jukebox see in this? Sis don't seem like a bad person, but I'm just like, how did y'all actually, we need more details. Please make it make sense. And shout out to the little note that they had with the little broken leg dog or the paralyzed dog, because I thought that was a freaking amazing metaphor for Marvin and how that owner is doing what he had to do to keep the dog and to, have the dog have a really good quality of life and staying loyal to the dog. And the fact that Marvin makes a note about it is like, okay, he's about to mess up in the future, but don't put him down. Don't discard him. He's still very much so valuable. He's still family. And I'm like, yo, they seed in a bunch of stuff. But anyway, back to Kanan and this dumbass plan that gets him into the game in a way that I don't think that he was planning to. He definitely, I thought, wanted to go and scare Buck 20. And honestly, I feel like this is not even about his mom's corner. It's really about Davina. They go over there, they pop off on this corner, and he winds up killing Buck 20. Like, killing them, y'all. Yes. What Rock says, you wanted to be in the game, you in the game now. So the rest of the episode is spent trying to understand why Kanan did what he did. Kanan makes his case if he don't want to leave his mom. He's here for his mom. He's going to support his mom. This whole thing winds up interrupting her first date with Symphony, which was going absolutely well if you ask me. And then Rock has to make a decision. Or initially she wants to send him off to his grandmother's to get him out the hood, to put him on the right track. But then after a drive-by happens at their house where they're trying to take Kanan because Unique puts a bounty on his head for killing Buck 20, then she realizes that she's going to have to really prepare him. Nothing's going to stop him from, one, trying to be with her, trying to support her and stand by her side. So if he's going to stand by her side, he got to be able to hold his own and protect himself because she won't always be around. And them even having this little family meeting, this town hall meeting, right after Rock finds out, it's like you really get the core understanding of what this family is, who they are to each other, and how they work. There's a moment where Rock has to check Marvin, and I love that too. And at the end of the day, who's the one who's like, remember, we gotta take care of this, come on up out that sweatshirt, nephew? Lulu. He on it. Before the episode ends, we get to meet Detective Howard, so we get a really fleshed out understanding of what this world looks like, because up until that point we had not really interacted with any of the cops, and clearly Detective Howard, he knows the game. He's probably from these same streets. We haven't figured out yet if he's going to be playing both sides or what he's finna do. And then he got his Rook with him, and now we know that these are going to be additional added on antagonists and stresses for the situation. Rock winds up having to make a deal with Unique, giving up all of the corners that they had just previously discussed and she had muscled him out of because of the death of Buck-20. But he lets him know like he gonna call off the bounty, but then at the end of the day people gonna be people, so she got to make sure that she protect her own. Even if he not gunning for Kanan anymore, there might still be people out here. So that's what ultimately brings her to the point of like, all right, we're gonna have to get you in, get you trained up, and make sure that you got your head on the swivel and you moving smart out here in these streets. Y'all, this episode was everything that I thought it would be and more. I am so very excited for this series. It's giving the 90s New Jack City vibes. It's giving Juice, but with a fresh flavor, and I really appreciate it. Fatima Miller is now on my list. Fatima Miller is on my radar. Sis is bodying this role, point blank, period. If you love Power, if you love Powerbook 3 Raising Kanan, let me know what you loved about it in the comment section down below. Be sure to hit the subscribe button because I'm coming to you multiple times a week, releasing new videos talking about Powerbook 3 Raising Kanan. I'm gonna give you episode breakdowns, character breakdowns. We're gonna talk about potential plots and actions and any other thing that you need to know as we go through this first season. It's already been greenlight for season 2, so it's going to be around for a while. I'm so very excited about it, and I know you are as well. Again, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a video. Be sure to like it because you made it to the end of this video, and I will see you in my next one. If you missed any of my power breakdowns, I have all of the series playlists for you on screen right now. Get into it, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.